Creating a podcast. Join 3 international students from Romania, Sierra Leone, and Rwanda as 3 journalists work together on the ins and outs of podcast creation.
You don't want a question that says that someone can answer just yes, no, I don't know to. So for example, don't say, is your favorite color green? Because then they can just say yes. But can you explain why your favorite color is green? Make it a bit more open. Make sure that, you're not just going to get one worded answers out of them. You want to make sure that you're researching your subject, your interviewee. So it could be the broad range of the topic and you don't really know much about that person. You might not find a lot about them online, but you know what they're connected to. So you might want to go online and just make sure that, if you're talking about, I don't know, something more scientific, then you're going to want to, you might not know much about that specific topic. So you might want to do just a little bit of research on it, read some research articles, read some news articles, that sort of thing. Have they been mentioned before? What did they specifically research as well? They might have like a bio if they're a professor, that sort of thing. Location. So if you're conducting online, you want to make sure that you have kind of good internet or, because you don't want your audio to break up. However, conducting interviews through Zoom or another software, it's called Clean Feed. You want to make sure that that you have your headphones on. You want to make sure that you're not around like a busy location, because then you'll get outside sound. You want to make sure that the person is also comfortable in the space that they're in as well, because if they're talking about something pretty vulnerable and they don't want their family to know, for example, you might want to ask them where they feel the most comfortable location is for them. So when you're conducting an interview, you want to leave a few seconds of uncomfortable silence after every one of your interviewees answers. So if I were to ask a question to somebody and they were to answer, you want to give them just like maybe 5 seconds of just complete silence where they might start to feel uncomfortable, and with a long period of silence. So they'll try to fill it in by speaking. They might give you a really, really good quote in that little bit of uncomfortableness. So don't just end the interview by saying, thank you for your time. You want to say, well, that is the end of all my questions, but do you have anything further to add? And on several occasions, I've done many interviews in the past like 5 years, and sometimes incredible quotes will come out of just, do you have anything else to add? Because you hadn't thought of it in the questions that you had prepared. So this could be the hottest tape you get during the interview, and eventually you could use that within your podcast. It could be like the beginning of your podcast as well.
The uncomfortable silence, yes. So I am worried about that. I mean, I see where that could come in handy, but what if they actually don't respond to it? How long should it be? Maybe that's something that we're going to look into later, but
if they don't say anything, then I guess you're just sitting in uncomfortable silence for 5 seconds. But just, I think that's just a journalism tip that could be useful. And if it really depends, like, see how the person in front of you responds. Like if they're really a vulnerable person that you're talking to, maybe I'd suggest cutting that. But at the same time, it could just, give the interview a break as well.